Hey, good afternoon everybody. This is Ron with Fab and Build. We are out in the backyard, obviously, as you can see. I've mentioned before that while we're working on the welding cart that we would have some other projects come up. That is one of these projects. We're going to be erecting a 10 by 14 building. 10 this way, 14 that way. The doors are going to be on this end down here. We'll have the side, the back, the other side. I'm going to have it 30 inches off of that fence. Kind of a big job. I've got all the lumber over here. We're going to be doing the subframe, the flooring out of 2x6, and I think it was 36 plywood. Anyway, pretty thick. And that subflooring, tongue and groove, we'll get all that matched up. Anyway, what we're doing is we're going to level this out. I've got a load of sand in the truck. We're going to get this, put level lines, put my boards out here and make sure that I'm good. Get our concrete blocks in here, get those set, then get this subframe, start building it, and get those put in one panel at a time. I'm going to have lag bolts that join all of these panels. Anyway, we're going to get this started. So anyway, we'll see you guys right back here in a minute. This is my path behind the building. This is just a rough stakeout for right now. Then I'll measure out to that, put my 10-foot 3 is what I really want, and then I'm going to measure my 14-foot 3 from that stake back here and then mark my 30. Then I can get my square. Should be our 30 inches off the fence. Now I'm going to measure these out this way. Okay, so what I have is my string. I've got a string looped over this post here down to the ground for right now. It's level at the ground coming around the corner of this post as well. What I'm going to do is line this up, the square up with my string. I know it's kind of rudimentary. Lay my tape on top of my square, so my square doesn't really move because of the tape. That way I can gauge off of the square where my line should be. That should give me my square. One last way to check. Now this is not a level, this is just square. We are good. All right, now that I've got this squared up, I'm going to get my line levels. I'm going to raise this up a little bit to the same, to where I know the lines are level. I'm going to have a little line level bobber or whatever you want to call it on each set of strings instead of taking it off and moving it. I don't want to risk moving it. That way I know the measurement from wherever down to the sand that I need to fill this in. So. Okay, good morning. We're the next day getting this building done. We've already got the sand thrown out here. I've got a wheelbarrow left for hitting some low spots when we get that compacted. We're going to bring the compactor back in here in a little bit. Right now I'm going to cut all the lumber down to dimension and get that started for those panels. I'll run you over here and give you guys a quick view of the pad. This is pretty much it. It's just a rough end right now, but right now it is to exact dimension. I left it that way because we're going to press out a few inches and flatten this down. This will not be this high. I have two 12-footers for the front and back bands. I have 12 10-footers. Also have 12 8-footers. So the bands on the front, obviously that's pretty simple. It's going to go across the whole entire front to join these panels as an outer band around. I'm going to take two 8-foots and cut them down to the dimensions I need for the side bands on the side, and I'll use 4 of those. The 57-inch long, which is going to go in between the long part of the panels. They will run this way, and I'll explain that in a second. I'm going to cut those from the 10-foot. I'm going to have 24 of those, and from the 8-footers, I'm going to cut 16 of the 42 inches, which is going to be the top and bottom of each panel. The 57 inches, or the ones that go both sides and down the center. Okay, that's all the 57s out of the 10-footers. Now we're going to move to the 42 inches out of the 8-footers. Okay, we've got the tamper out here, the compactor. We're going to use this. I've started a little bit. I just wanted to double check that this was going to do what I thought. So we're going to get busy and then compact this down, fill in any low spots. We're going to come back with the water hose and we're just going to sprinkle over some, make it wet again. Then we'll run that compactor back over top of this to make sure that we've got a good base. Anyway, we're going to get busy. Good morning. I'm gonna get hit in the face with a limb. And we've got the pad set up over here. We finally got that tamped down and compressed. I had to take the other compactor back, had a problem with it, got another one, came back, got late. We had to run through it really quick, get this compacted. Had to go back to town and get some more blocks. The blocks were not where they should have been. We had to go to another location to acquire our blocks for the pad here. We've got 8 by 16 by 4 inches deep on each one of them. I have 15 blocks. These are just basically in their general location. That's got it pretty level for the most part. We're going to do the fine adjustments on those as we go. We did check the corners, corner to corner. Down the sides, across the backs, we're pretty much level in all 4 corners. We have a few minor adjustments to make, but they're nothing big. We can either scrape a little off or add a little to it, put the block back in place, and we're good to go. All right, so I've got my board set up, got 8 and 8. I'm gonna batch marks these out real quick. Interesting thing about the framing squares, for those of you who may not know, I know a lot of people have used these for years and still didn't know this. This right here, the short leg, is 1.5 inches wide. This is great for marking them out. You make sure they're flush on the ends. You come up, you put it there, you get it backed up to the edge of your boards, make sure they're all in line. You're good to go. Mark them all out. Guess what? You got your 1.5 inches for your lines. Outside, I'm gonna put X's out of habit. That's what I used to do during construction. Then we can come in, we can mark over, we know 42, half of 42, 21. We come up to 21. From here, we mark that. That's the center. We come back 3/4, 1, 2, 3. This, I come across, get my lines right here, get that lined up, mark that, all my X's are right here in the center. And the same thing on the other end. Anyway, I'm gonna get done, mark these out, get through this process. Okay, I'm gonna run through here and pre-drill some of these real quick. Now I should be able to just zip through here and put the screws in. Okay, so this is what we have to wind up doing because I mismeasured. I measured exactly what the form was and not overage for the foundation, the pad. My fault. Live and learn. So extra work. We got to fill all that in out to the bricks, bring it up to level. Then we have our pad. We've got the blocks pretty much leveled out. There'll be some minor leveling of these additional blocks down here. I've got them set out. That's the grid. Got those blocks in place. We're going to put these back up here, those in the middle, and then keep running down. I'm going to get the rest of these frames built and we'll get this moving this way. But that's where we're at right now. Okay, good morning everybody. We've got everything set. We've got the pad laid out. We've got the blocks down. We've actually got all the panels in place. Today we're going to go through and we're going to insert the bolts with the washers. We are going to run a few screws, decking screws in at some outer corners and maybe in the middle to help hold some of these panels in place while I drill those holes out, so I don't get any movement from that other than just clamping them down and drilling them out. I'm going to put some screws in there to help hold that. This is basically my setup. I've got a fender washer on the back side. Whoops. Fender washer. I did say before, carriage bolts. I decided against those. I don't want to have the wood get soft around that square point for that carriage and then work its way loose, where that becomes an issue for me to try to get that undone later when we try to take this apart and move it. So hex head bolts it is, fender washers, regular flat washer, and then the nut. These are actually, I believe, 4-inch bolts. They might be 3.5. This is what I could get my hands on, so this is what I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and place my bands on the outer edges in place. Get that whole subframe done. Then I'm going to lay my plywood down on top of it, because my plywood's going to cover all the bands, subframe, and everything. So the plywood's going to come all the way to the outer edge. Okay. So four and five. I'm starting out by making sure that my factory end is going to be 90 degrees with this. By doing so, I take my square, simply just take my square and I scribe a line, make a mark, get it on here. Then I line my track fence up along that line to make sure no matter what that is down there, I don't care. This line is square with this, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and put a clamp on this. All right, so we have our width. Now I'm gonna get my length and then we'll cut that to size. So this is the remainder of my 8-foot piece. This will be 27 by 43.5. We're going to get some of these blocks put into place here real quick. Okay, we're getting these panels cut down for the end over here. Morning, everybody. We are fixing to put the building together. I have already been through the tedious task of checking the parts list to make sure that everything is here and we're good to go. I've got a couple pieces laid out over there. Already know that this one piece is going to come back over here. This is the middle piece to our here. That is going to go here, back here. It's going to be this one, and this one. This goes here. These will come together like so. We can do these. I'm gonna go through and take measurements. That's, wow, a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Wow. Okay. I wish they had given me the actual dimensions of the building. So your 10 by 14s are going to be 9'4" to 13, 5 3/4. Get it? We anchor this frame down. I have holes in each one of these corners. That is the only anchor points I am seeing on this building. Hopefully that will be enough. We hope. Okay, we're slowly getting this thing figured out. I went to my local hardware store and I bought some of these self-tapping hex 1/4" hex washers, head with neoprene bonded washer screws. So, an inch long, go through my metal frame. I'll show you where I put them at. Right here, another here, here, all the way up. You can see them here, 4 across the back. These 4 holes hold this together. And then as they go up, you screw all the panels on top, and I'll actually be able to screw these into the top of the corner panel there. Because of the wind is up 20 plus, gust up to 30, 35 this evening. We've had 20-mile-an-hour winds most of the day. It dies down and it comes right back. We're gonna get this laid out, get those put together, and get this moving. So these are sloped according to the ridge of the roof. So this is an angle down. The roof is gonna go up like this. It's gonna come down on the other side. So the other side sits like this. So I do have 2 sets of rails stacked back to back, and they actually make this little ridge up top, kind of like so. Now, pulling these together, what I'm actually doing is there's 2 screws that go here to hold these 2 outside rails together. Then we have the middles, then we have the other 2 outside rails. I'm actually putting the 2 outside rails together with the screws and nuts. I have the middles slid over both ends of those like we should. But this is helping me align those. Okay, to show you what I'm doing, I've got these here and these here. These are already in. These are already in. Those are in to hold the middle in place, and those are in down there to hold those 2 rails together. I'm going to be putting all of these in right here. On the ends here, I'm going to leave those hand tight, so when we get those up in between the gable ends, we can pull those apart and put that brace in there. 1 down, 2 more to go. I'm going to attach the top frame going across these panels, that way we can lift them up. She can hold it, I can secure it from the bottom. So we have these, right? I'm going to start off by hitting this right here. That way it stands this corner up and makes it rigid.
Okay. They lock in each other, don't they?
They do. Good morning. Welcome back to Fab and Build. I'm Ron. We're on the building right now, so we have a kind of a faux pas that I ran into yesterday, so not all things go as planned. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right here we seem to be okay. As we go down through the line, I had to force fit some of these to be into play. So as we get here, these panels don't line up, as we can see. So this panel was getting bent. This one doesn't line up. This one is held in by a few screws in the top. Got a bend right here. So in one of the steps, they always say to do the sides first. I'm going to take all of this back off and see if this releases any tension that's holding this from doing right. Then we'll come back and put this on. We'll finish the doors on the front and everything else. But this is where we made it to yesterday. Hope everybody enjoys the video today. Stay tuned, stay with us, see the final outcome of the building. I'm gonna get the roof on today as well. So thanks for coming back in. We'll see you back here in a minute. All right, so what I'm getting here is, for whatever reason, this top corner is, for whatever, jetting out this way. I don't understand it, but when I push it that way, those panels straighten right up. There is a differential between this panel starting to bow and that one straightening out. By straightening this out, I can straighten the rest of this wall out. That's my hopes anyway. Okay, at this point I've got all the panels taken off the back, all the panels taken off the side, back to the bare corners. I left this one panel on because that's where we're starting. I've got it secured. I'm going to add the second panel and move forward. I am making sure of another thing. These panels here, I don't know how well you can see them. They have a lip that sticks up right here. The other side is more or less flat. I'm putting this rounded channel, almost a U channel, underneath the flat side on the other panel. So that way this all lays into place as designed. You don't want two flats or two channels meeting per se. I'm sure it's not going to hurt anything horribly, but it could be the difference in fitting good or not. I'm allergic to these type of buildings, as you can tell. I don't care for them. I'd rather build my own frame, metal or wood, than put up my siding. Not knocking on the manufacturer, but at least that way I know it fits. So for whatever reason, the panels are getting pulled up from the bottom, so I'm actually going to attach them to the bottom and hopefully I can adjust the top. This is where I got into trouble the last time, coming this way. I've loosened the L bracket in the corner for these. Hopefully that will give me some allowance. I don't know what's going on. We're just going to have to figure this out as we go. You can see how that panel is kicking out at the bottom when it shouldn't be. Okay, so as you can tell, I've got this side on. I'm going to start from this end, go that way. All right. All right, last panel. We should be Alright, we're going to finish up this front two panels here. Okay, we're getting these door jambs screwed on here. We got this one in place. Fixing to get this one in place. It has a profile. I don't know if you can see the profile here, flat, flat, and then an angle. The hinges bolt here, so this has to be on the outside, this profile. So we'll go in at the bottom here. Oh, it says gables are next. I actually have those pre-assembled inside, as you can see. Let me get my ladder in here, clean some of this up, and I'll be right back. I think I may take a clamp or two, try to get this into place. Down a little bit. So these are little L brackets we've got to put on. These are the holes that they're going to screw into. These are the holes here. They mount like this. We're going to put those into these spaces here and here, and then two more sets on both sides. There we go. And back in. Okay, so we're going to get busy on this other side. All right, we're going to get these doors hung. Go up a little bit.
Try the door.
Okay, hang on. Slow down. And that's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Yay! Good job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is Ron, Fab and Build. We are done with building. We have got it completed. All of this is done. We still have a ramp to put in. I'm going to come back and do that. We're going to have concrete blocks, custom wooden ramp, 3.5 feet long, wide enough for the doors. So it's going to be a pretty big ramp. We're going to have wagons, mowers, wheelbarrows, all kinds of stuff that's maybe loaded, so we want to be able to just roll it up in there. Anyway, we thank everybody for hanging with us until the end of the video. We hope that everybody is in a good place. Be kind to one another. Any comments or questions, please leave them in below in the description. Subscribe if you like what we're doing. Give us a good thumbs up. And we'll see you guys next time back here on Fab and Build. See you later.